Members of the Nazareth Baptist Church, also known as the Shembe Church in KwaZulu-Natal, have launched a political party in Durban. The church is one of the largest in the country with thousands of followers. In recent years, the Shembe Church has been embroiled in a leadership battle over its rightful leader following the death of its former leader, Nkosi Vimbeni Shembe, in 2011. Newzroom Afrika reporter Bongani Gema is there and joins us now. Bongani, good to catch up with you this afternoon. Now, just give us some insights into the timing of the launch of this party ahead, obviously, of South Africa's elections in 2024.
Yeah, I guess, well, that's very interesting. You know, the elections are just around the corner and they decide to form this political organization now. And you know, the church is frequently visited by political leaders, especially now as we're going into elections. We've seen the president making his way, to the church and other parties, even ministers, so it's going to be very interesting where they're going to stand now that they have their own political party. And also, you mentioned in your intro the ongoing disputes, leadership disputes in the church. Is also going to be interesting to find out where this organization is going to be standing now. But I do have with me the president of the Afrika Unite Congress, which is the name of the new party. I have with me Mr. Lizwi Ncwane. President, we thank you very much for your time. I think the very first question, I spoke with your deputy SG earlier and I posed this question to him regarding, the involvement of the leader or leaders, of the church, because we know there are quite a few, their involvement in the formation of this organization.
Well, this organization, Afrika Unite Congress, it's an independent organization. It's a movement of choice. The only link it has with the church is that we, as the leaders of the AUC, are also members of the church. But it has no bearing with the leadership of the church, neither the spiritual side of the church being the house of worship. And it will be not correct of us to try and submerge the church to a political arena. Afrika Unite Congress has come by through the wisdom of members of the Nazareth Baptist Church, but it's an independent organization which is like any other political party. Whoever has been benefiting from our church, whether is it Ebuhleni, Ekuphakameni, Kinyezinye, Tembezinhle or Gauteng, they may still continue to come and seek blessings. We will compete with them. Yes, that is the position.
But why now? Because I understand the church was formed in 1910. There could have been many opportunities for the church to form this political party. Why did you decide to form a political party now?
Well, the reason which informs our decision to say that no, let's form a political party is because of the suffering that we have experienced as the members of the church, plus being the members or the citizens of this country. You must remember, Afrika Unite Congress is not only encompassed with the Nazareth Baptist Church Ebuhleni. Here, I can name too many churches that are involved. We've got support from numerous denominations within the country and even beyond the borders of the continent of Africa. Therefore, the fact that I am the president in the meantime and I am the member of the Nazareth Baptist Church Ebuhleni, that does not confine the organization only to Ebuhleni. This is a formation for the people of the entire country of South Africa and Africa at large.
Now, before we get to the changes that you want to advocate for, I want us to speak about the membership, because there was just a handful, supporters who were here today as you were launching this organization. You yourself come from the Ebuhleni faction, as you said, which is, the largest among all the factions of the church. Where are you, or your biggest base of your leadership? Is it, your members, is it the church, or are you also taking members from outside the church?
Well, the members of the Afrika Unite Congress will come broadly from different walks of life. It will not only be Ebuhleni. Like, for instance, if you have listened to our message that we have delivered today, we stated that the church is divided into groups. We're not discriminating anyone. We're calling for a united front from anybody who is an African. So our membership will come from all walks of life within the country and beyond, and the borders of and beyond the borders of the country.
Now the elections are around the corner, and currently, South Africa is facing a number of challenges, including the energy, crisis. What are you bringing to the table that you are hoping to help you win the hearts and minds of the people?
Well, as we have highlighted our draft manifesto today, amongst other things that we want to do, we want to define the role to be played by the traditional leadership and spiritual leaders in the governance of the country. That has never existed. Chapter 12 of the Constitution of the country speaks of the legislation still to be passed. There is no definite and certain explanation as to what will be the role of the traditional leaders or spiritual leaders for that matter. All we're saying as Afrika Unite Congress, we're saying Afrika Unite Congress will advocate for a clear definition of what is the role of the traditional leaders and spiritual leaders. You'll know, during the past government, the apartheid, people who were actually dispossessed of land was Amakhosi. Amakhosi were responsible for all the deaths that occurred to comfort the victims and the survivors. Amakhosi were responsible to ensure that those that have lost their loved ones get portion of land where they can be buried. Abefundis, which is the spiritual leaders, were the only persons that were available to come and administer prayer and console those that have lost their loved ones. We are saying it was an error from the beginning that when the democratic dispensation of this country came by, there was an election of those that were involved in the CODESA and the signing of the Freedom Charter to not include the traditional leadership and spiritual leaders. Like, for instance, myself, as I'm coming from Ebuhleni, you know for the fact, you must have picked up from the news that since the democratic dispensation of this country, a learner or a pupil who is a member of the Nazareth Baptist Church in school is still subjected to abuse and violation of their religious right. They are forced to cut hair. Why? What is the bearing between learning, education and learning, or learning, education and learning, with how do I look? How do I preserve my African value? What is the bearing? And if you see and look at it, those who are spearheading that discrimination and violation of people's rights are our members of the African society. They are black, for that matter. The Department of Basic Education has been mum, especially this year, 2023, when our pupils in schools were subjected to this violation. We even launched a complaint with the Human Rights Commission. That is why in my statement I stated that these state institutions which are meant to defend the democracy are toothless.
Now, have you registered the party with the IEC, and should we look forward to seeing you on the ballot papers next year?
Well, the issue of the ballot paper is not my decision as the president. We've got a lot that we're going to do. We will call media briefing to make a declaration of whether or not we're going for the 2024 elections. But I can assure you, after this launch, we are hitting the road. We will do all the necessary. The registration of the Afrika Unite Congress, everything is set. We're just attending to minor queries. Registration should be finalized in a matter of days, depending what the Independent Electoral Commission will query further. Thank you.
Well, there you have it, the president of the Afrika Unite Congress, the new party that was being launched here at the Octavia Hotel in Inanda in Durban, outlining what they stand for to you and the members who were part of the launch here today.
Bongani Gema, I appreciate your time coming to us from KZN.